Okay, so starting off in Country Roads, Take Me Home, in the verse, let's see what comes most natural to me and how I would play things. And then from there, I'll tell you all about the where. You have to understand where we're gonna use this stuff so that you're successful in really getting these ideas down. Okay, so here we go. So okay, that's naturally where I would put in a chord hop. So let's start there. Okay guys, just really quickly, this is an excerpt of this video you're watching from my Improv Piano Tips Song Vault, where I take your favorite songs and help you enhance them. So if you like how this video goes, you can check out more information and maybe become a member of that Song Vault up here where that green thumb is indicating. Okay guys, let's get back to the tutorial. Since we're in the key of A major for this, what I did is I did a 1 chord to a 4 chord, which is a D chord in this key. So I went 1. So I just did a 1 to a 4, and then I resolved on the chord that I was on. So since I was on an A chord, I went to the 3rd interval of the A. Now, the reason why I did that was because the tonality sounds complete, okay? The cadence is a complete cadence and it sounds just good to the ear. Now, if I left it just at the chord hop, so if I did something like, doesn't sound like the end of the world, but this sounds way better. Then you can jump back into things. Now, the reason why I also decided to do that chord hop there is because there was a space in the melody line, okay? So you have to be thinking that when you're going to use fills and runs in your song, you have to find space when the melody line allows for a fill or a run, or you have to completely stop the melody line, as we'll do in the chorus, you'll see coming up here. Stop the melody line for a couple of bars, a couple of chords, and then jump back into the melody line. Okay, you'll see what I'm talking about there. But essentially, if there's no space for a fill or a run, it's totally okay for you to kind of take away from the melody line, as we'll do in the chorus, and then come back into things. Here, however, in the verse, there's a nice spot for fills and runs because you have the dead space where it's do 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then you go da 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 da. There's lots of space there to do stuff. So if we were to do a 1-5-1 hop, let's see how that might sound. So it would be 1, a 1 chord in the key of A is this. We're making it add 2, and then a 5 is an E. So here, so we would do something. Oh, actually, that would sound really good if we did the fill that we did, but before we went to the 4 right here, and then resolved before that, we went to the 5. So we do a 1-5-4 resolve hop, okay? So we'd have something like this. Okay, that sounds really good. I like that. Now notice that if I started up here to try to kind of come all the way back down to where the melody line is, that would take way too much time. Okay, so the spatial awareness is necessary when you're kind of working through these fills and runs in your practice time. You have to understand that, hey, I got to get back down for the melody line down here, so I'm not going to want to start a fill or run all the way up here. Okay, so that's the idea. So okay, so that's where I would do a fill. Now, if we were to force the issue and do a 3-note run or a 2-handed run in that spot, let's see how it might sound. Again, this wouldn't be my first choice, these fills, the chord hops are my first choice, and I think it's going to sound best, but let's see what we can come up with here. So we have... I guess that doesn't sound too bad. So what did I decide to do? I decided to do the 3-note run, but I started at the top and came down as opposed to bottom up. We went top and down. And so with the 3-note run, if you recall, it's a 1-4-1 3-note run that I'm doing here. So in the key of A, first 3 notes of the 1 chord are 1, 2, 3. The 4 chord would be D. So it'd be these 3 notes. So I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I stopped here. So I went. So leading up to it, except that I forgot that I started at the top and went down. So notice you can do it both ways, okay? But top down would sound like this. Okay, let me see a little bit on the timing there, what I decided to do, because I want you to understand, again, how I'm thinking of things. And automatically when I did that, I thought to myself, oh, the timing was really good there. And I kind of cued myself in. So let me see what I did for that timing. Okay, so I'm kind of using this note to do... Okay, this left-hand note right here to start off the run sounds like it's kind of completing the measure. So I think that note is really important there for this particular run. We'll keep track of it in other song titles that we are kind of working in when we do the 3-note run to see if the left hand is always doing this. I don't think that's the case. I think that is just kind of helping fill the song out. Okay, that's how I would do a 3-note run there. Now let's do a 2-handed run and see how it sounds. Before I do the 2-handed run, I do want to say that the dynamics, as we talk about often in these videos, dynamics are everything. I wouldn't be using a 2-handed run in the verse because it's just kind of something you save more for the big choruses and things like that. Okay? But in any case, let's see how it goes. So it didn't sound that good. Let me try it again. Yeah. Okay, this is a good teaching moment. So what I would do, notice how I kind of had to mess around with things and then I found one that sounds decent. When you're doing these 2-handed runs, you have to be mindful of the melody line that you end on before you do the run. So we have melody line is an A. You want to keep this melody line at the top. So when you're structuring your run, make sure that your last note, your top note, if you're going to do something, it could be something like that. It's always going to sound better if you structure things so that your run is ending on the melody line note that you ended on. Okay, so you have... Okay, so this is what I decided to do for my 2-handed run. Okay, so these 3 notes here, notice how it's kind of like an implied A add 2 or suspended 2. Okay, except I'm not using the A here. So instead of the A, I guess you could do the 2-handed run with the A actually, so you could go... Oh, no, you can't because it's going to be up here. So that's why I chose the C sharp. Okay, so C sharp. So I have... Okay, notice the left hand starts first always, even if it's in the middle of the chord, because you learned, you know, the 2-handed runs like here. The left hand was always below the right hand. Well, sometimes it could be in the middle of it. So you have... So all together might sound something like this. and then you can move on. Okay, so now in the chorus, let's jump through the chords and melody line and see where I might insert a chord hop. Okay, so maybe something like there. Yeah, maybe something right there. Okay, so let me see. So notice what happened there. So I'll start right there and break down what I just did. But notice that I stopped the melody line for 2 of the chords out of the chord progression and then jumped back in. I kind of hesitated because I forgot where the melody line was at. But you have to keep track of that. So if you're going to stop the melody line and let's say do a 1-4-1 hop, kill the melody line altogether. So you're going to have to figure out where the melody line is and come back in on time. So this does take a little bit of skill that you'll need to develop and practice too. So country roads. Right. To a place. Chord hop. And then when I go to the D chord, I'm not worrying about the melody line. I just kind of hit a chord. Continue the chord hop and then get back into the melody line. So the way it'd sound all together, very slowly. Okay, now up to speed. Melody line, but I'll still go through the chord progression. Okay, it didn't sound like the end of the world there. However, I didn't like that I wasn't able to get back to the melody line. So maybe I wouldn't be throwing in a chord hop here. Okay, that's not my instinctual idea to fill out the song to kind of use a fill and run in the chorus. I would probably stick purely to the melody line, and I'm thinking that the trick that's going to lend itself the best to the chorus is going to be the 2-handed run. But before we get into the 2-handed run, let's go through the 3-note run. So we'll kind of force it in there, see where we might force it in, and then we'll end this video out with the 2-handed run, which I think is going to serve the chorus really nicely. So 3-note run. Since there's no space in this chorus melody line really to throw these runs, remember what I'm doing is I'm choosing a spot to kill the melody line and do the run and then get back to the melody line. So okay, so on to a place, so I decided after to a place, 3-note run. So up to speed, let's see how that works. That sounds pretty cool. Oh, that sounded cool too. So towards the end there, so let's see, to a place. I did West Virginia. Chord hop on the E chord. So at the end there, the last 2 to 3 chords of the chord progression there, I went into a chord hop. Okay, and then you can go into the verse. Okay, so that's probably how I would insert a 3-note run. It actually fit much better than I thought it was going to fit in. Now let's go into the two-handed run. This one's going to be, I think, most fitting. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, I knew it. Okay, so the way that I did this is pretty cool. And this is a little bit more of an advanced run because when you're doing the two-handed run, I decided to do it on to a place. So to a place. So notice I told you at the beginning of, doing the application for this video that it's helpful when you're doing these two-handed runs to be mindful of the melody line. So notice the melody line here ends on an A, but I end my run on an E. So I kind of have conflicting melody lines. So I wonder if there's a way to end it. So do maybe that, end on an A. Maybe that. Let's see how it sounds. It's good practice to keep that melody line, kind of in people's ear, the melody line that you end on. Although, this didn't sound like the end of the world ending on an E. So I'll show you both ways, okay? So to a place. Notice that my left hand kind of starts these three notes here that I'm on, and then here is what I did. I did these three, and then I did left hand here, these three, and then end. Okay, so it's kind of the two-handed run goes like this. So fast. Okay, this will take practice. So to start it, okay, so up to speed. Actually, let's go slow and then up to speed. So slow. Here we go. I ran out of time. It's actually got to be even faster. Something like that. Okay, something like that. Now, if we were to do the other way, end on the note that we're supposed to end on. So to a place, it's an A note. We want to end on an A. I belong. You might be able to do something like that. So you have. Okay, so that's a little hard to execute. So maybe you can mess around with that particular spot. But I think that this is a good ending spot for this video. And hopefully this gives you really good insight into where you can apply these tricks and how I'm thinking about things. Enjoy inserting your fills and runs, and I'll catch you in the next video where we're going over melodic soloing and soloing on the fly with single notes. Okay, I'll see you in that video, guys.